is under the law a legal person.
These are a special kind of person who have no moral conscience, designed by law to be concerned only for their stockholders.
I just can't be personally responsible. Maybe you better incorporate.
There are companies that make our lives better, and that's a good thing. The problem comes in the profit motivation.
Liz Claiborne jackets, $178, and the workers were paid 74 cents. Nike assigned a time frame of 6.6 minutes to make the shirt. That means the wages come to 0.3% of retail price.
Of course they make a profit, and it's a good thing.
In our search for wealth and for prosperity, we create something that's going to destroy us.
I never gave a thought to what we were taking from the earth. I didn't have an environmental vision.
In devastation, there is opportunity. When the September 11th situation happened, the first thing you thought about was, well, how much is going up?
You can manipulate consumers. Is it ethical? I don't know. But our goal is to new products.
It's always going to be there, so you may as well have faith in it.
There are those who intend that one day everything will be owned by somebody.
Within less than 10 years, a handful of global companies will own directly or through license the actual genes that make up the evolution of our species.
You know, this is news. This is stuff people need to know. And he said, we just paid $3 billion for these television stations. The news is what we say it is.
Capitalism today commands the towering heights and has displaced politics and politicians as the new high priests and reigning oligarchs of our system.
Does there need to be some measure of accountability? Yes. And I think the business community recognizes that.
Okay, guys, enough bullshit.
For my previous presentation, some of you may know how bad a corporation is. Back in the day, corporations were created to carry out public interest. They were small. Nowadays, corporations have been changed dramatically. Their motivation is only to make profit. Driven by profit orientation, corporations tended to ignore business ethics. They ignore public concern, and finally, they ignore the law. Why I say corporate had no business ethics? In order to increase the profit, they have to lower their production costs. One of the easiest ways to set up factories in South Asia, Africa, South America, and those factories are usually a sweatshop. There are thousands of children working in those sweatshops. They range from the 15, their age ranging from 5 to 16 years old. They have no little to no education at all. Because they have poor background, they have to go and work in those places to support their family income. According to International Labour Organization, there are approximately 250 million children working in those sweatshops. 250 million children. That's a lot of children working in those. And education as a basic right for children, they receive no education at all. With education, it's very important. It's clear practical impact on society. It can promote responsible, ethical individual. Also, it also increase economic growth. Statistically, countries with have better education system tend to have better economic growth. America had 99.6% literacy rate. On the other hand, Bangladesh only have 55.3% literacy rate. Not only corporations ignore business ethics. Is it unethical? Definitely, it's unethical. Not only corporations ignore ethics, they also ignore the law. Many big corporations such as Enron, Tyron, WorldCom, AIG, Lehman Brothers have violated federal criminal law and corporate law. In 2001, Enron, one of the biggest bankruptcies in America back in the day, they conducted accounting fraud and causing 10,000 people losing their job. $1 billion in employee retirement savings disappeared, and more than $60 billion investing money from investors have gone with the wind. And these three people are the senior executive of Enron Corporation. They made a couple $100 million for themselves, but finally they got arrested because they violated federal criminal law. Is it unlawful for the corporation practice in their way? Yes, it's unlawful. In 1995, Nike opened their first venture commercial in Vietnam. They contributed a great economic growth for the Vietnamese GDP growth. However, at the same time, they create a huge environmental impact on the nation. Every day, Nike throw out 10 tons of waste to the environment. Here's the picture. And this waste usually cause polluted in water, cause pollution in water as well in the air inside the region where they throw out. Workers who work in these factories usually get cancer, disease, and nausea from the chemical substances contained in the waste. So in 1997, a group of activists go against the Nike production practice. They make some progress. Nike decided to leave the mess, burn tons of waste, produce tons of toxic air into the sky. However, within 3 months, in another place, which is 3 kilometers further away from the original dumpster, we found this. More waste, more polluted. So, corporations should be enforced more strictly or not? In my opinion, they should, because they violate the business ethics, they put away public concern, and finally, they don't listen to the law. So should we restrict, should the government put more restriction on corporations? Yes, we should.